interesting match. And if they pick Moskov, oh my god, this is going to be...
Wow.
And Vendetta. Alright, so actually Homeboys is playing the role of crowd control plus damage this game more than VRSO, but still VRSO, they do have the crowd control elements, as we have Yves, we have Yuzong, and we have Cloud as well in the gold lane.
To be honest, I like Homeboys. They are trying to deny VRSO from the some of picks, but for VRSO, like they're trying to play around what they have on their hands, because we need to win this game, because we have one game left and we will qualify to the next stage.
Yes,
so they are trying to play on the new scenarios. They are trying to make new strategies during the draft, because in the draft now on the paper, for me, Homeboys as in the first game, because they have the priority, they have the advantage more than VRSO.
But good. Do you think they're drafting for comfort or out of necessity?
I think VRSO is drafting out of necessity. They're forced to go for their picks. Although, on the other hand, there is one pick from Homeboys which is going to be a problem for Homeboys themselves, which is Selena. Selena is going to have a very hard time with Claude and with Eve, because they're using their purify skills, and we have crowd control heroes which are supporting Claude and Eve also. So I don't know what is Selena going to do this match, and Izanami needs to be out of this world to come up with something.
Here we are, game number 2 of this best of 3 series already. Boros starting to pressure Daniel. And Daniel gets out, but my oh my, a Fredrin versus a Benedetta jungle.
Yeah, man, I'm not sure if what's going to happen here. The sun does come out, and I was going to ask about this specific pick, this Benedetta jungle. And gosh, when was the last time we saw this? Well, I can't recall. I know it's been a minute in my time, It's been a while since we've actually seen that, and it's one of those things where if you really lean into it, it could work, but it's one of those picks that's very risky, and I think that's why that last choice for VRSO time, they just went with the Fred. They're like, you know what?
Yeah,
we can play this safe. We can actually dance around these objectives and extend it if we want to, and play into a Claude late game power spike that we should have. And they've got a great front line. They've got a great initiator too. But Castle got the Yuzong. And that's something that Homeboys is going to have to work with here. Arrow thrown out there in the mid lane, but nonetheless, no follow through just yet. So, I don't know, that's one of my main stipulations with this. I think VRSO Time actually has a pretty beefy lineup that can scale into late game really well. But it's up to Homeboys to make this more damage-centric lineup in the early game work for them.
Yeah. The way that I look at this draft from both teams is that VRSO Time have created a holistic composition as able as the good Homeboys
Throne of Ruin with the Gleam. VRSO Boro gets the turtle, but Xeno's going to fall in the fight. Castle picking up a kill himself, and Reza trying to get away any way he can, but it's a double for Castle. What a start. Boro will fall in exchange, so it's going to be a trade across the board. Objective going to VRSO Time. And again, I'm going to say it, every single time we see a Yuzong get a lead, that's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah. In order for Homeboys to take advantage of the fact that they have taken down Xeno, is to invade their jungle. But it seems like VRSO Time have dealt enough damage for Homeboys and bought enough time for Xeno to get back onto taking his own side of the jungle. What's really scary about this Benedetta is it's almost a glass cannon in a way. The way that you risk it. It can be strong in the early game if you are on point, but it can also be disastrous if you just keep on dying. So far, Amal has not been showing us reasons about that.
Well, right now, the Glorious Pathway is just slowing things down so much. Was trying to jump away. Daniel, though, stopped in his tracks, but luckily not enough damage just yet. And that's one of the things about this VRSO Time lineup that we were talking about. It's not going to have this early game throughput when it comes to damage just yet. So even though that was a great Glorious Pathway coming out from Boro, they couldn't capitalize on a kill. And so Homeboys getting what they can. I think by the time they transition into this next turtle, they'll be in a pretty good position. Good burn of the flicker there. Battle spell down. But, that's one thing. I think they need to fight into the second turtle, and maybe Homeboys can start to build an advantage from there.
Yeah. You see that eventually. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the invasion coming from Aima, I think this is good. This is the way they can play this game. They're be oppressive, be invasive with VERSO time. And quietly out there, the VERSO time have already built up 1,000 gold lead. It's mainly because of the overreactions coming up from Homeboys. We know for sure that they don't have as good as an early game there is compared to VERSO time. Because we really see VERSO time. It's a very holistic kind of draft. A box type strategy that has good early game, good mid game, have a dependable late game. Homeboys, they have a higher ceiling.
Gonna force the fight anyway under the turtle. AOG drop down. Rotating happening. Both gold laners staying on the gold lane, but Xeno will get the turtle. An SOD thrown out. Melcutie does take it. He follows through. He's gonna get stunned though by Boro.
Oh no.
Oh, that was not where you want to be if you're Melcutie. An arrow thrown out, at least to cap out something, to take out Castle. They had to shut him down, and Izanami will get that kill.
Yeah, that's definitely just consolation now for Homeboys, because that was a disastrous fight for them. They already lost Turtle, they have lost Reza, have lost Daniel, and then Melcutie tries to go for a fight, did not get any kill for the team. In fact, fed a kill for VERSO time. I think that was definitely a disastrous moment for Melcutie. The fact that he is a Moskov that does not actually have to go for fights. I mean, you're happy if you can land the SOD and maybe get a kill afterwards, or safely get some pickups. But if you're risking your life by giving away your lane to your opposing marksman as well, really not doing a great job. And Melcutie has to really make up for that. And Homeboys have lost so much ground in the first 5 minutes because of their bad decisions.
Yeah, I almost wondered what if he just didn't use SOD and just kind of check things out. Definitely wouldn't have had this lead build up even further. Not only that, but VERSO March now has a bit of an advantage against Melcutie, obviously, and as a Claude, you can play into having that advantage against Moskov. Ooh, RWM catching Izanami. Great usage here for Kojic to use that ultimate, capitalize on a kill. Wow. Amal might be in trouble. What a petrify! Black Dragon form going to be used too, and then he tries to go and fight this in a 2v1, but Amal will fall as well. Reza, too late to this fight, might just be able to go ahead and stall out that push on the tier 1 top. But Turtle's up, and VERSO time balloons the lead nearly to 4,000 gold.
How about that juggle coming up from Xeno as well as Castle? I mean, they have spent so much resources, but that was Amal that they were able to take down. This means that this turtle will be free, and that's a perfect word. They will balloon this lead so much.
I like balloons.
Yeah. And it's difficult to pop now. I mean, they do have this Benedetto, but it seems like they're not making the right choice now, Homeboys.
Yeah, this is one of the things here, Wolf, is, again, they're going to go switch the lanes up. They get more space to work with as the turrets fall down. Oh, Castle might be caught here in a bad position. It's actually still going to be able to survive it with the heals from, again, this Yuzhong kit when you have this. And it helps so much when you have this type of lead, this kind of power in the early game. Now in the mid lane, he's caught once again. Daniel trying to get away, but he can't survive it. VERSO time taking the pickings here, even though they're revitalized just to top everyone off. And also VERSO time, they'll make their way towards another turret if they can get this. If they get the tier 1 turret down in the mid, it's almost nearly a free positioning to deal with the next Lord when it comes up at the first Lord. Wow. You're gonna fight for it. That's exactly what they want to do. Like Dragon Form already going to be used. Amal trying to get to the defense, trying to disengage Reza as well. No one falls. A bit messy, and at least up top, Melcutie will be able to push in a turret up top. The tier 1 finally falls.
Looked to be a really good pincer coming out from VERSO time. Members of Homeboys were just mobile enough and tanky enough to get out of there. Good news, like I said, Melcutie is able to farm up top. However, Xeno already prepared for the storm. Chastise Pauldron is the second item for Xeno. I wonder if he has his blade armor up right now, because if you combine those two items together, now that is an anti-Moskov item set for Xeno. Xeno does not need to really counter the Moskov as of this moment because the Moskov is not hitting him anyways, but they have prepared for it. And I wonder if Homeboys themselves are going to punish that. Maybe they can allocate magic damage against Xeno if they can. But let's see.
Fighting for this Lord here. They're going to keep Melcutie down there. Castle is there as well. Not sure if he's actually going to try to force that fight in the 1v1. It looks like he is going to go for the fight anyway. An SOD thrown out. It's going to miss, though. Lord's going to go for the reset, and Daniel is gone. The Black Dragon form is going to be used. Melcutie's going to lose this 1v1 unless he gets away, and that he does, but his team is getting decimated on the other side of the map as a triple for VERSO March. And VERSO time will now make their way to go ahead and solidify this Lord take, as Izanami can only just throw out Abyssal Arrows to stop VERSO time from going further.
Homeboys might not have faced the Dragon Yu Zhong in that Lord fight because Melcutie was fighting up against Castle. Almost died, but fortunately had to flicker. Even after the ultimate and petrifying commitment from Castle was scary that he did not land the SOD, so he cannot get out from the Yu Zhong, but eventually he was able to get out. However, Homeboys, they were taking care of this Fredrin, but they forgot how to control March. March had a triple against Homeboys, and there's so much damage that's coming out from this Cloud already. At 10 minutes in, I would wager he has his ultimate, his 3-item power spike already available. The fact that he was able to take on Reza, and honestly, this Cloud pick coming up from VERSO time is just paying so much dividends. Has good scaling, great damage profile against Homeboys.
Daniel should be able to get away if he has to burn the AOG, and that he does. Chasing him down, they'll get a flicker out from Reza. Right now, VERSO time playing with his 7,000 gold lead. They'll take what they want in the tier 2s. Shields are up. They're going to pop here in the mid and the bottom, and Lord makes its way up top. As VERSO time gets ready to potentially end the game with this type of lead, this type of push. I'm not sure if Homeboys is even ready in fighting form to deal with this. Daniel again getting shredded down, and whoa! Goodbye, Amal. He jumps into his own death. The Lord's going to charge into the turret. The mid's already going to fall. Castle leading charge once again with the Glorious Pathway step down. Daniel taking the brunt of the damage. The waves are cleared, though. So at least this, but the push in the bottom. Can they continue on with just one cart minion? VERSO time might give this a try. Another wave in the mid, pushing Daniel once again. Being brought low. AOG's are found to heal up, and Melcutie as well. Base takes a little bit of damage here. Black Dragon form going to be used. They're going to push him off the base. VERSO time sees the win in sight, but they have to manage these waves as Daniel's gone. They get a huge setup though, but a Blazing Duet's going to be used, and now Amal cleans up Castle. Can he get more? It's already going to be fought for. Amal falls down, unfortunately, and VERSO time sees the win. They're going to go for it. They're going to do it in a flashy way, potentially taking out Izanami, but the waves will push in, and that will be a sweep.